What's up? What's up? Okay, so I'm gonna share you this video of Will Smith talking about how they interviewed him and they asked him, look, you have everything, and he says, nothing can make you happy once you have everything, and then he mentioned something to where, but just watch this video.
You just realize none of it can make you happy. Once you've bought everything you want, and there's literally nothing on earth else that you want to buy. I just wish that was a gift that everybody could have, because there's nothing that material can do to satisfy you. Right? It's like drinking salt water, right? Like you'll never get enough. You're just going to make yourself more and more thirsty.
Right.
I'm in that phase of my life that can actually be scary when you realize that no relationship, that no money, that no kids, that like there's literally nothing that can make you happy. That happy is an internal, full frontal contact with your dark night of the soul, and you reconcile that you got to make happy in here. You got to make happy in here with none of that stuff.
Damn.
You got to take happy to the people you love. You can't try to get it from them. And it's like you got to take happy to work. You're not going to get happy from work.
So in that video, when he says you gotta bring happiness to the people you love, you gotta create that energy. I had a friend of mine. She told me that she's been living in Puerto Rico for about almost 5 years, and she says she's ready to leave because she says she just feels isolated. She's just been, stuck at home because she doesn't have a car, and she lacks connection. And then I told her, I said, look, you need to like be around, Filipino community, because she's Filipina. And then she started going out, and then she just lit up. And then she told me, she realized that's what she's missing. And when I uploaded that video, we had over 20,000, like 23,000 views, and like people are commenting. They're like, I want to be a part, I want to be a part. And I'm going to tell her, I said, that's your gift. Your presence is the gift to the world, and in return you get fulfilled. And she was like, I know, I can't believe that, for 5 years I've isolated myself and I never, make time to just socialize and be out there. And so I'm just like recently learning how to do this, because sometimes you got to be strategic. You got to help serve other people, but you can't let them abuse you. Sometimes people want to get close to you, and they try to finesse so they can take advantage of you, and they just waste your time. They steal your energy. So you got to be mature and how you handle things. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. That's kind of like my mindset right now. Like some people are probably thinking like, man, why is Brian just making all these random videos just to freaking, he must have no life. Because I realized what Will Smith was talking about in that video. You gotta take happiness to the people that you meet. You gotta give that energy. You can't wait and expect them to make you happy. And I've experienced it. I was homeless. I was a millionaire. I lost everything. I slept around. I worked. I lived in New Orleans, Houston, San Diego, LA, Costa Rica. Lived here. I'm going to nursing school. And at my age 45, I mean, I pretty much lived my life. I experienced everything. I was married. I got divorced. Worked in the oil field. Had my own company. I worked in Hollywood. Like, was in crypto. Man, I dabbled in everything. I was a hospice caregiver, taking care of people dying, and I would say everything that my point of trying to say, I say everything that I've done, the thing that I've felt the most fulfilled is when I helped that man Bill, old man. I was his caregiver, and I realized, I brought joy in his life. That's where I get gift. I get blessed. Peace. I'm gonna play a video of my friend. You could see her face so excited, and her being so excited and saying, everyone, you need to be a part of the Filipino community, because, you know, she was getting so emotional. Like imagine being just staying at home for 5 years, and all of a sudden she gets to be around her Filipino friends, and she bought food for everyone. She was just so happy, and you can see that she realized that's what she was missing. And you know, one thing that Will Smith said in another interview, and we're gonna watch the video of her after this so you can see her excitement, but one thing, I'm gonna leave it with this one thing that Will Smith said that was so crazy. It's like, you know, that feeling when you reach rock bottom? Imagine me when you have everything and you reach over the cliff. He said that's the exact same feeling of, it's a scary feeling of reaching rock bottom. So it's like, you know, trying to put your happiness on pause, and I'm not gonna be happy till I become a millionaire and all that. You know, that's not the secret. You know, the secret is the present moment, and giving that, sharing that, serving others, giving that energy, that love. So watch, you know, how her face changed when you see the video after she decided to exercise that giving to other people.
Please, if you're new to Puerto Rico, or if you're new to anywhere where you are outside of the Philippines, reach out to other Filipinos and you'll be happier. And you are with other Filipinos, they're going to open the world for you, and they're going to welcome you as how you should be. Forget about the crab mentality.
Yeah, so what I wanted to say is that I know some of y'all thinking like you missed the Philippines, you missed home. But Puerto Rico kind of reminds me of the Philippines, so you can kind of create your own Philippines away from the Philippines by hanging around with the Filipino community.
You sing karaoke, you sing whatever you want, no judgment. We're going to eat out, eat all our faces up, and you will be fine, and you should be enjoying it. And I'm so excited.